Coming to you from the Varsity Sports Bar and Grill on Beachmont Avenue in Anderson Township. It is another edition of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Here we go.
Will you bring me those glasses?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll. It's been a little while since we met, and Rob Herking, a good bit of water
Jeff.
under the bridge. Please.
Jesus.
Don't.
I wouldn't touch this ground, man. You'll have to get a tetanus shot.
I fucked up and didn't grab my glasses.
Jeff's in the house today, baby.
Oh, God.
The fact that he was going to crawl across the floor is pretty awesome.
He was going to cut under her. He doesn't have as good-looking assets as Nikki when she cuts across the camera. But,
What, are you embarrassed? I might see your buttocks?
maybe.
See your behind? But a lot of water under the bridge there, Rob Herking, since we last met, and I can't wait to recap it all for our fans and our viewers.
I appreciate Dan. I think that was an introduction. Kiefer, how are you, buddy? You doing well?
I'm good. I'm here. Everything was set up. We were just a couple minutes late, but no big deal. That was my fault.
Not really. I mean, we're pretty fucking on time.
We're doing much better.
Yeah.
Doing much better than we have in the past. We'll put it that way.
Dan's figured out what holes to put fucking wires in. It's like watching a kid with one of those games, that toy that you put the round peg in the round hole, the square in the square, and the triangle in the triangle. Dan, we had poker night on Saturday. Did you win?
I wanted to ask you about that.
That was an easy fucking yes or no question, Dan.
I made it to the final table, made it to the final two, and our buddy Chris won it in heads up.
Well,
Got it.
I was going to my goal that night was to take you out.
And how well did that work out?
Well, I had
Come in there talking all kinds of shit.
I didn't talk shit.
Yeah, you were talking all kinds of shit, all kinds of smack.
I tried not
days
to talk
before the event. I got the minute I walked in there, you started talking shit about how you're ready to take me down.
No,
you're going to take me out. I don't know how to play poker. Try and act like a big tough guy in front of your new best buddy Keith Starks.
I never said that, Dan. I never said that.
You never said any of that.
Nope.
Never said any of that.
I just said that we have a pact that anybody goes in all in with Dan Carroll, everybody else back off. We got to take Carroll out. And then I said,
and that didn't really work out that well at all.
Well, about 10:30, Dan.
As I recall,
you're not going to hear my version of it, but as you recall,
you didn't even make it to the final table. As I recall, you weren't even when the final tables merged. What was left of your table and what was left of my table, you weren't even in the house.
No, I wasn't.
You scooted out of there with your tail between your legs.
There was a reason, because your new best friend, Major Mike, was sitting at my fucking table, and I thought there was going to be some.
Is that? Oh, you missed the drama that unfolded afterwards.
Ooh, I want to know, because I wasn't there.
I foresaw fucking drama occurring with my new friend or me or anybody else, because somebody was annoying as fuck, and I text my friend, I'm going all in. Let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I'm down with that.
Which is actually that was a smart move.
Yeah.
That was
somebody was getting hurt.
That was a smart move.
I did have to prevent fists from being thrown at one point.
Yes. Between who?
You remember our buddy Patrick Burke, don't you?
Yes.
Patrick and Major Mike.
Oh.
Shocker. There is a common denominator.
So men's night, when we play poker at men's night, it's essentially a friendly game.
Yeah.
Should be. The guys who play there, we don't play poker all the time. So occasionally you drop a card. It's
not real series of poker.
You don't count the chips correctly, whatever. You might miss that your hand that you think you have is not what it is.
Right.
So Patrick's dealing, and he's hammered. I mean, hammered, blackout drunk. And then there's a misdeal. And so Major Mike, who was getting just beat up on when he came over to our table, apparently looked at his cards, had a couple of good cards, and Patrick's throwing cards all over the place. It was a misdeal. So he takes his cards, throws it in the middle of the table, and he calls Patrick a fuck. You fuck.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And Patrick is
it's a little bit aggressive for a swim club poker tournament.
He's a Kiwi, so he's from down under. He's from New Zealand.
That's right? What, $10 to get in?
$10 buy-in.
$10.
I mean,
big $10 buy-in.
Big money, baby.
And you're going to call somebody a fuck.
And Patrick's not exactly the same age as Major Mike, is he?
No, Patrick's a senior by a good 20 years, I would say.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
Patrick's
God,
a
I miss
nice
all. I
fucking
miss
guy.
all the good shit. I miss all of the good shit.
And yeah, I mean, Major Mike is, I mean, Jason, I don't have to tell you, the guy can be annoying. He can be annoying as annoying.
We have
can
definitely
possibly
had
be.
words.
But
I've
it
never
got
had
ugly.
words. I just got the fuck out of there. I can show you the text too. I text Keith, who's sitting next to him. I
It
was
got
like,
ugly. Patrick stood up. Major Mike he was sitting next to me, right where you're sitting, and Patrick was right there. We're sitting at a round table. He stands up and comes around. He's ready to start throwing punches. And I stood up and got between them.
He's got to pull some of that Kiwi karate out.
It took a little while, but cooler heads prevailed.
All right. Well,
it was one of those nights.
But
though,
you missed it.
where
You totally missed it.
I text Keith. I go, "Don't worry, everybody hates this guy." And then the next text was about 20 minutes later. I'm fucking done with this guy. I'm going all in. We're out of here. He's like, "Sounds good."
What would you have done if you would have won? If you would have won that all in?
he'd have paid the Varner Foundation $102.50.
Yep, sure would have, and I probably would have gone all in blind again, not looking at my fucking cards.
You went all in blind.
No, not that time, but I would have gone all in blind to get the fuck out of there. I would have.
Well, I mean, these are situations you got to deal with.
Well, I deal with it all the time.
You deal with it by losing.
No,
yes, you did. That's how you dealt with it.
I paid a fat fucking stripper $20 to leave me the fuck alone. I can pay somebody else $10 to get the fuck away from an annoying son of a bitch on a Saturday night.
You paid more than $10
on a Saturday.
How many
fucking
times
night.
did you rebuy?
Once, so it's $20. They're even with Vivian.
They're even with Vivian.
Yeah, fucking Miss Vivian. Buy her a drink. Here's $20. I know what's going on. Leave me the fuck alone.
But it came down to me and Chris Shepard, and Shepard took it on the heads up.
All right.
So that was. Thank God. I mean, the guy does a great job. He runs the game.
This almost could have been the summer of Dan. We had the summer of Jim years ago, where he won all of the pokers.
I'm happy with my second place
Speaking
finish.
of somebody talking
two
shit.
final tables in a row.
Okay, so
all the way to the final. Twice in a row.
Have you set aside the cash or written the check for the Varner Foundation for $102.50? Because now you're fat. You're fat with cash.
Let's just end this right now. You're
yes.
my witness. Everyone is my witness. Rob Herking, there's the money. $200. Give it to Varner.
$200
right there. You're my witness right there.
Hold on a second. Let me look at that.
Make sure it's all real.
It's fresh.
I don't see the lines in there.
Where'd you get this? I just printed it in the basement. It's good.
Dan, do you want 4 of those back?
No.
All right. Wow. You heard it first here.
That's $200 for the Varner Foundation.
Dan
right
Varner.
That was very, very nice of you. Very nice of you.
So I'm tired of this shit.
Hey, fucker.
It's over. I don't want to hear it again.
Hey, fucker. Nice job.
All right, thanks.
Nice job, Dan.
All right. Well, now we'll have to find something.
I haven't seen Varner. I haven't seen Varner. I've been carrying that around for a long time. I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure those exact 20s.
Now the one more and I'm out of here. LLC attorney now has the possession of the cash. You all heard it.
I'm the fiduciary. Hey, Varner, you better get your ass up to the varsity real quick.
We're
doing tequila on Dan.
Rob's going to use it for a bar tab.
So if that $200 doesn't find its way to the Varner Foundation, then my hands are clean.
No, the $200 find its way to my pocket, and I'll write a check to Varner for the $102.50 on behalf of you.
And then
I've just made $97.50, Dan.
That's not the intent.
How about them apples?
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. So you can get that monkey off your back. Now we'll just have to figure out something else. You'll give us some ammo.
Yeah, something will be coming up.
Something will happen.
Well,
Dan, I'm glad you made it to the final table.
But I am going to get you out on the golf course.
Me?
Yes, you.
I like it.
I like it too.
We will video the whole round.
That'll be awesome.
I played a par 3 9 holes with my son Friday night, and I can swing a club, Dan. So I'm back. I'm back in the saddle.
All right, good.
Aren't we fucking playing August 8th though? Well, that's just a scramble. That's the Bill Brewer Memorial.
Then we got September 8th.
Yep.
August 8th. What day of the week is that?
Oh Jesus. Here we go. Shit. What is that? A Tuesday? I do believe.
I don't know. We can figure that out after.
I think it's a Tuesday, and it's been mentioned on the podcast a couple of times. And
I think I'm good to go for that day.
That's what the text chain said, Dan.
5, 6, 7.
Wait a minute. No. Oh, that's September 8th.
August 8th is not. It's not until September 8th.
No, that's the Sal outing. August 8th is a Tuesday. The Bill Brewer.
I got it. I'm good to go.
Yeah. It's a great outing, man.
Anybody that's listening right now doesn't really care about that, though.
No. We got a lot of fun shit going on nowadays. I'm going to cruise through a little bit of history real quick so Dan can piss and moan. He absolutely loves it.
But one more thing about and this is a little inside baseball, but on our men's night, we've had Jim Calder on this podcast on one of the early episodes.
Way early. And he barely talked.
And and it was a little disappointing.
It's kind of surprising we could understand.
But Jim Calder has been trying to reclaim the glory that he had from a couple of summers ago when he won 3 men's nights in a row, playing poker. Yeah. And he has not been able to repeat that feat or even come close to it or even get to a final table, I don't think, in that span of time.
He had a major award for him at the end of that summer. It was the summer of Jim.
Fragile.
So he was at my table. His goal was, and he kept telling, just like Herking, we got to take Carroll out. Carroll's going out. He's going out. So I took him out once.
There are sore losers.
He did a rebuy.
And then
I took him out again.
Fucking winners.
He did another rebuy. And then we were getting down to where you couldn't get close to where you couldn't rebuy anymore. So he went all in. The other guy who may be just a tiny bit less annoying than Major Mike is Bernie. So I took him and Bernie out in the same hand and won a huge pot.
All right, good work.
So there you go. That was my poker night, dude, on Saturday night.
Sorry I missed it. All right, this day
and then
history,
I got up
Robert.
the next day and went and played golf. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm sure. Mein Kampf was the political manifesto written by Adolf Hitler that became the Bible of Nazism, and Germany's Third Reich was published this day, September. Jesus, now you got me talking about September, July 18th, 1925.
I think there's a copy in the back seat of his car, isn't there?
My car?
Yeah, your car.
I actually have a fucking copy at my house.
There's a lot of shit back there.
I'm actually afraid to see I see it, but I don't look.
I sat in the back seat of your car before. There's a lot of shit back there.
I have a copy at my house. My great uncle was a U.S. Air Force guy, and he did intelligence, and he was stationed in Germany during World War II, and he came back with a couple hundred fucking German books. Mein Kampf was one of them, along with a bunch of other shit that was really cool. He died. He was like 55 or something back in the 80s. Detroit. Hey, good job. Congratulations, Detroit. 2013 on today's date, they filed a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. Good for them. Kicking some ass.
And the mayor got sentenced to what, like 20 years?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And it's not there that water. It's the Flint, right? Flint, Michigan.
Flint's the water.
Yeah.
Flint's the water. Detroit's the corruption.
Yeah. 1927, Ty Cobb collected his 4,000th career hit. Jesus, easy for me to say. 1921, John Glenn, first U.S. astronaut to orbit Earth, completing 3 orbits in 62, was born. Trying to look here for something that might pique Dan's interest. There's really nothing going on. Nah, you can fuck yourself, Dan. There's nothing going on. Tomorrow, July 19th, this is something to wake up for all you ladies out there. 1848, the women's suffrage movement began in the United States on July 19th, 1848. So hope you guys enjoy. How in the fuck is that not World Women's Day? It's some other day. How is that not the Women's Day? So they started fighting back. I don't know. I mean, just food for thought. Just thinking. Mad Men aired tomorrow in 2007.
That was a good show.
I like that show too. That's about all I'm going to talk about that. So
for anybody that's watching on YouTube right now, I have not seen any internet issues or scrambling or buffering. So hit me in the chats and let me know if you're seeing it, because we made a minor adjustment. Yep. So I just want to make sure, because our last one got a little wonky there.
What kind of adjustment did we make?
It's behind the scenes.
It's a technical adjustment that you would have no idea about.
Only Oz knows.
You're right about that.
Oz knows. So, did you guys see they caught that serial killer out in Long Island? Motherfucker was like 6'6" and an ogre like Dan.
What's the name of that beach?
Gilkey, whatever, something, Gil something. Fucker was huge.
Never heard of that beach before.
He had been under investigation, and what a hell of a police work. It's something you see on a fucking crime show, man, where he's eating a piece of pizza or some shit, and you get a little bit of saliva DNA off of the discarded pizza to run against. They had found DNA on one of the women, and they were, I think, 2 of the 3 that they charged him with, or all 3 were sex workers. But they're trying to link him to the others. There's about 10, I believe, total, with a child being one of them out there. Remember when the bodies kept washing up on the shore? Good time to take a midnight stroll. Yeah, here it is. Gilgo Beach.
I breezed past it. I didn't read that one, but I breezed past it.
I find that fascinating shit how they did it, man. I mean, just a piece of pizza. It reminds, I can't remember what movie it was where the person was at a mall and took a sip of water out of a cup, and they were always very careful. But at that point in time, they fucking let their guard down or whatnot, threw it in the garbage can. Somebody walked up, picked it out, swabbed it, and sent it away for the DNA on the rim.
Well, yeah, they can get DNA off a cigarette butt or something like that.
People are fucked up.
Yeah.
People are fucked up, and every time you go to any news outlet, whether it's on your phone, you turn on TV, it's fucking scary. It's scary what's out there right now.
Yeah. People are, I mean, fuck, right here, Auto Arm Leader Park, there was a gunshot Sunday during a kid's fucking game. Some crazy shit. It's 10 minutes away from here. But it is crazy, the shit that's going on. One of them, shit, I'm trying to remember what it was with this guy. But I mean, I just like that type of shit. I read those books and stuff like that, the biographies.
Faulkner said someone didn't watch Dexter really close.
Yeah.
Was that a good show?
Yeah, it was.
Dexter?
It was a good show.
I think she's talking about the shooting with Dexter Pitts when he was in town.
Oh, that
And
Dexter. Yeah. Oh, shit. We got to fucking reach out to him. You talked to him recently, didn't you, Keith?
I did. I actually think I am going to go hang out with him on Monday, the 24th.
Why don't you take Dan down?
Well, Dan's probably going to have something to do.
Okay.
On
Dan's always busy.
July 24th?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably am.
Yeah, I know. You're such a
The cool thing is you weren't invited either.
Well, I didn't invite myself, did I? I don't recall inviting myself.
One other thing I do want to throw out on today's date, July 18th,
Although I do like Dexter Pitts.
1976, Nadia
Great dude.
Comaneci scored a perfect 10 at the Summer Olympics.
Oh, man. I'll never
Little
forget
Nadia.
that summer.
Oh, I did see that one. I was hoping you were going to cover that one.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that.
Kind of, not really. But I saw it. I figured that would be in your repertoire.
No.
So, Dan,
I remember her watching her on TV, man. I was in love with her back.
You said that was 76, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 3 years before I was born. So I did not watch her.
It was magic.
You know what I did
It was
not
a
know?
magical summers of the Summer Olympics that year.
You know what I didn't know, though? And I learned this last night thanks to Jay, our buddy. You know, the Tommy John surgery. We were talking about Ellie De La Cruz and how fast he is and how awesome he is. And he's got a strong arm from third when he was throwing the ball over at 96 miles an hour.
That was amazing. That play was absolutely fucking amazing.
Well, it was being explained to me, and I followed it up with a little bit of research on The Athletic, that they do Tommy John surgery, and there's always these stories of these pitchers that come back from Tommy Johns after taking the time off rehab, and how their arm is stronger and they throw the ball faster. Ellie De La Cruz went to, what was it, University of Pittsburgh? Somebody with it wasn't Ohio State. It was University of Pittsburgh, their orthopedist unit. Perfected. He had ripped his ACL, MCL on his right knee, and they did what's called Johnny Tom surgery on him. And
Johnny Tom?
Yeah.
What the fuck is Johnny Tom surgery?
It's for the knee. It's a ligament on the knee, kind of comparable and akin to Tommy John's. And they did Johnny Tom's on him.
You're making that up.
It was John Hopkins. That's where it fucking came from. John Hopkins, and they called it Johnny Tom's. And it's what's caused him to be so much faster than anybody else. And now other professional athletes, this was in The Athletic, are coming out looking into the surgery. And the doctor from John Hopkins is giving a lecture to the University of Cincinnati medical team in regards to that surgery. So if you were always curious, it's Johnny Tom surgery. And it's the opposite of Tommy John's. What makes Ellie De La Cruz, who is on right now, we're watching the Reds game, the conclusion of last night's game that was rained out in the 8th inning. It's 2-2. And then they're going to play another one against San Fran shitholes at 7-10. But Johnny Tom's, check it out. I mean, if you guys got a kid athlete in high school, it might be an option to get him back into a D1 school program or possibly the pros, maybe single A, double A, triple A. Keith? Anything?
I got nothing.
All right.
You got nothing?
I mean, I've got other things. Nothing on that.
On Johnny Tom surgery.
Check out the Athletic website, Dan. The Athletic is the one that pumped it out. I got the fucking update. I think Jeremy told me about it. And then I looked it up last night when I got home. It's fucking true. It's crazy. John Hopkins. They're perfecting it.
Oh, they do good work there.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
What are you finding there, Dan?
It says Johns Hopkins Medicine, Tommy John surgery, ulnar collateral ligament. What is Tommy John surgery?
It's new. They're doing it for the knees now.
I haven't found Johnny Tom surgery.
It's almost like a deer leg, like how they flip it backwards.
Fucking deer leg.
What? The deer joints? No, they can spring. That's what makes them so fucking fast.
A lot of Tommy John stuff in the news, but nothing.
Well,
under,
the vet school is kicking up too.
Johnny Tom.
I think it was a orthopedist and a veterinarian that
Trent said he had Johnny Tom
Started this
surgery
shit.
in high school.
I'm just telling you that. You guys see the iPhone from 07 sold? It was in mint condition out of the box, in the box actually, for $190,000.
Which is completely stupid because now none of the updates would work on that.
It's great too. And in 2047, you're going to be able
Well, I
to
don't
buy
think
a
they
new
wanna use
iPhone
it.
for $190,000.
Well, that's like people who buy those, like those first edition Nintendo games and that kind of crap. It's a video game.
I know.
For the love of God,
I fucking love Nintendo.
maybe if you maybe if you win 900 million in the lottery, you got as well. It's over $1 billion now. Nobody won last night, but I
There
guess
was $1
maybe
million
if you just
ticket
had
sold here.
Crazy, stupid money to spend.
Well,
How much?
You got the crazy, stupid money to spend at $250,000 to go fucking 12,000 feet under the fucking ocean.
In a propane tank.
And they apparently have two excursions planned for 2024.
God, can
Do you
we
see
sign
that?
up?
I don't think.
Let's send Dan.
I don't think those are going to go on a schedule.
I say we send Dan on that shit.
There
show,
might be
man.
openings.
Dan, you be the pilot.
There might be openings.
You're Captain Jack.
Ooh, we could get on there and do a podcast from inside the Titan.
I want nothing to do with
Why
that.
don't we just go get a fucking propane tank at a trailer park and
Let's-
sit in there and act like we're under the water? We'll just get somebody with a garden hose, spray water on us and shit.
Let's start a GoFundMe.
That'd be cool as shit.
That's your idea of a good time.
Let's start a GoFundMe
That explains
for
a
our
lot.
Titanic excursion.
Rob Herking's idea of a good time: sitting in a propane tank while someone sprays you with a garden hose.
Well,
So
I wish you would sit in a propane tank with propane in it, Dan.
That's not happening.
I'm gonna start out a little light with a couple. I got a couple stories. Kind of goes with it. It goes with that, but doesn't go with that. Did you read the story about the Australian guy that was stranded in the fucking ocean for like 2 months?
No.
Oh, was it him and his dog?
It said months. It didn't say 2 months. It said months. There was no like definitive date. So he gets picked up by a Mexican fishing vessel. He left out somewhere in Mexico, but ended up in the Pacific. And I'm trying to find it.
I'm looking at it right here. Australian sailor and
Yeah.
his dog adrift for 3 months in the Pacific, survived on
Rainwater and raw fish.
his damaged vessel.
Sushimi.
So I got the picture of him up.
Timothy Shattuck.
I mean, what-
Bella?
He looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway at this point.
With Wilson. Please tell me the dog's name Wilson.
No, he said his Bella. Bella was his
Damn
dog's
it. I
name.
would have named the dog Wilson, though. That'd be cool. Dog won't tell.
But both made it out fairly healthy to a point. I mean, he's a little bit skinny and he looks like something out of Treasure Island. The book
Good thing
Treasure Island.
I guess he had a fishing pole on board, huh?
He was doing something. He was doing some work, but how scary would that fucking be?
To what?
Being lost at sea, not knowing. I mean, you're in the fucking Pacific on a very small catamaran. And they said, I mean, that is, it's a needle in a fucking haystack.
Well,
Like that would scare the shit out of me.
As long as Dan's not on it, I'd be fine.
it was a tuna vessel that found him.
Tuna.
ship.
Yeah, the tuna fishermen's.
Hmm.
I read that article though, and I was like, that literally is probably one of the
How
most
many
scary
days?
things. Just knowing I'm probably gonna die.
How many days were there on there?
It was months.
Oh, wow.
They didn't say an exact amount of days. It was
Well,
months.
The guy probably could have swam pretty fucking quick like a motor to shore if he had Johnny Tom surgery. I mean, the fucking flipper on that motherfucker. Jesus.
The flipper.
You're so
It looked like a fucking baby seal.
The
you
flipper.
are lying. You are lying so bad about that.
I'm not. John Hopkins, bitch, perfected it. Their veterinary sciences unit and the orthopedics units. They perfected it. Not to change subjects. You guys remember that video we posted the 10 minutes or 10 seconds up in Vegas where the cops were beating the fuck out of that guy outside the grocery store, the Quickie Mart?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they fucking suspended the officers and charged them.
The ones that we were talking about, the context.
Arkansas, 2 Arkansas deputies suspended, 1 officer on administrative.
Is that the
leave.
one that he brought up? And
Yeah.
We
that
were
was
talking
like
about
7 or 8 months ago, wasn't it? It was a long.
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but yeah, they're just finally posting up here that CNN picked it up. Thank God. That's the only place I go to trust news. CNN picked it
That
up and
explains a
said
lot.
that they're on admin leave and shit, and they are, I believe, under investigation now.
Which police department is this?
Someplace in Arkansas.
And they're just getting around to this stage of the investigation now.
Thorough fucking investigation. Crawford County Sheriff's Department, Dan. Oh, Facebook, so you know it's fucking accurate.
You
A
know,
Crawford County Sheriff's Department Facebook post identified the Mulberry police officers. So it's true. It's
If
kind
only
of-
those guys had been investigated by the Secret Service, they would have been off scot-free.
They would have probably had some blow with Hunter in the White House,
Yeah, a
man.
little.
Just sitting back,
Absolutely.
sipping some gin and juice. Blow this.
which is funny because I got some video clips
with my mind on my money and
As-
my money on my line.
as you rolled into that.
My mind on my line. And
Video
my
what
line
of
on my line.
Hunter doing some blow?
Well, I love the fact that the investigation is closed
Yeah.
with no interviews of anybody.
Oh, that sounds like a Chinese investigation.
Nobody.
Yeah,
You
nothing
know,
happened here, actually. Let's,
If you don't have videotape that's
In the most secure
dated,
building.
time stamped, and all the rest of it, then you really, how can you conduct any sort of
it
investigation?
didn't fucking happen.
So I'm gonna play this video. You guys haven't seen it. I'm gonna play this video clip, and it's actually kind of humorous.
All right, here we go.
Easy that was. But somehow at the White House, there were no clues from inside the world's most secure building. Agents found no video, no prints, no DNA, nothing. But hey, they did the best they could, right?
They did the best they could to track down how it got there and who it might have belonged to, and they were not able to come up with any forensic evidence that proves it. It's not the kind of thing we want to see happen. If there's things we can do to prevent that in the future, certainly we'll do that.
Oh, of course. Wow, he was talking really fast. Did you notice that? I don't know what's going on there? Anyway, so there you have it. The case file is as empty as our VP's head. Maybe
And our
we should
press
hire the
secretary.
View to investigate.
Here you go.
So is this more fodder for the Republican machine,
No matter
conspiracy
what,
machine?
no matter what the answer would have been,
These
they were always
idiots.
going to blame Hunter Biden. They are weaponizing Hunter Biden against his dad as an effective tool to get his dad to lose his cool and to get his dad to, feel the heartache. And there's people who
That
might
don't
believe that
know.
it was planted for somebody so that then they could advance the Hunter Biden narrative.
Yeah, did you catch that?
Fucking Republican.
According to that lady, somebody planted the cocaine to frame Hunter. Because, what would he want with cocaine?
That picture is funny as shit.
Oh, shit. We're going to get banned now. We put
Fucking
Hunter Biden
Gutfeld,
shit up.
man.
I know. It's probably gonna
Gutfeld is
happen.
hilarious.
Probably gonna happen.
Here's what's good. Beautiful, man.
But yeah, no
That take
interview,
is
no
so good.
interviews, no interviews of any of the workers, no interview with Hunter, the president, the vice president, anybody that was there.
It's just too difficult to crack that nut.
But
But
guess what?
Too tough.
Guess what? Those dumb bitches from the View got it all figured out.
They
So
do.
thank God. Earlier in that little clip, they pulled up a skit of Scooby Doo.
Oh, the mystery machine, baby.
What in the actual fuck?
They
Well, no, if there was a Republican operative that was in the White House stashing a packet of cocaine somewhere in the White House,
I want to play.
they
my
would
song.
be on that like white on rice.
You can't say
Uh,
white
it-
on rice anymore, Dan.
I am saying it.
You cannot
White,
fucking say white on rice, Dan.
why not?
2019 banned everything. You Uncle Ben, fucking Aunt Jemima, all that shit's gone. You cannot say. You got to eat wild rice, and that's coming to an end here soon. Where
Well-
the Wild Things roam is a banned book. They're burning it down the street.
Well,
Because they want to say, "Oh, look, it's a Republican. He had cocaine. It was in the White House." They would love that. They would love that.
I saw that, and actually Jill brought it to my attention when I got home. She was like, "Hey, I saved this for you. You got to watch this. You're gonna have to fucking talk about this tomorrow on the podcast. What in the actual fuck?
People.
Well, those women on The View are some of the stupidest women to ever draw breath. It's a rule that I have on my radio shows I put this rule on myself. I don't play clips from The View because it is so insipidly stupid.
How come you
that
always have to
you're-
go home at 10 o'clock to watch your story, Dan?
But I don't watch The View.
Oh, that's
I'm
exactly
not
what you
watching The
fucking
View.
watch.
I am not.
Here we are.
I love The View.
I mean, they're so predictably out of touch.
But they're the smartest
And
women on the earth in their
They're
mind.
just dumb as the day is long. And we're all a little bit dumber for having listened to them.
Well, you're welcome.
I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
You're
If you
welcome.
wanna hang
There is some,
out
I will
at
agree.
the
There's some
White House
entertainment value
today,
there.
Bring cocaine.
But for God's sake, I mean, they just say some of the stupidest things ever heard,
I never
and
pulled.
it's so predictable.
I never pulled that clip of Hunter when he looked like he was fucking tweaking.
Yeah, well, that was that's it when he was in the sensory deprivation tank smoking crack.
the submersible.
Yeah.
He was pulling a Tom Brady, firing out the fucking crystal meth
How
and the
fucking
sensory
dumb.
deprivation.
Yeah, he might as well. He took a trip to the Titanic, I guess.
Fucking asinine, man.
I don't know what time it is, but I've got my crack pipe. That's all I need. It's like Steve.
Is that how you think Hunter Biden talks?
It's like Steve
He
Martin.
made it sound like Charlton fucking
like
Heston,
Steve
right?
Martin and the jerk, right?
It's like dazed and confused, that character. In
I
it.
don't need anything
Hey, man. Hey, man.
except this stethoscope. He said, "I don't need anything except this toilet seat."
Ellie De La Cruz just got on first base, so
I know,
hopefully,
very exciting.
hopefully his Johnny Tom surgery helps him steal a base.
They said it's stronger, too. It's not going to rip again. That's awesome. Yep. I love Johnny Toms.
Didn't work for you too well, though, did it?
I never had it, Dan. I'm too old. was
Are
ruled out.
you thinking about it?
No.
You're not a candidate for
No.
Johnny Tom surgery.
No. Have you actually looked into a living will? Because you're at that fucking age where it's important.
Well, if I do, I'll find a lawyer that can handle it.
Please do. Because this motherfucker is going to screw it up on purpose. I love The View. And did he fucking make it?
Stole second.
All right.
Sorry, we're getting a little
Sorry.
sidetracked.
Just a little excited about the Reds. We want to see which way it comes out at the
Well, the
second
Reds have
half of the
fallen on
season.
hard times.
Don't worry
since we
about me
last
just
met.
talking right there, Dan.
I'm just saying they've fallen on hard times.
Yeah, no
Very
shit.
Close, always safe.
Tale
Always
of two
safe.
teams. And why do they wear oven mitts nowadays?
So they don't break their fingers.
I mean, are they taking fucking taquitos and shit out
They
of the
don't break
kitchen?
their fingers.
Why? It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's so crazy.
Well, you just put a hard tag on his
You
elbow.
almost went-
so
you
we
almost
didn't-
went
we
Valley
didn't
Girl
damage
real
that
quick.
elbow. He's safe.
So we got a big guest coming up, and we've been updating some shit. For those of you that haven't read the book yet, read Christian Bustler's book. He's going to be on the podcast Sunday, July 23rd. What is that, 1 p.m.?
1 p.m.,
1 p.m. He's going to be live in person in the house. And
which I love the fact he wanted to do.
Oh, that reminds me. My wife is starting to frown on the Sunday podcast.
well, I don't give a fuck, Dan. That's your problem.
I'm just saying.
So
we can do it without you.
we got Christian
You
Bustler
don't,
in
you
the
don't have
house.
to. You don't have to.
no,
show up.
I'm going to be here for the ones I've already committed to.
Okay.
But our plans might change in the future.
Do you want to put content out or do you not?
No, I want to put content out.
Okay. Well, if we have to
Just saying.
plan Sunday around schedules
Well, we got people
and you
there.
can't do it, then we're gonna have to do it without you.
All right.
I don't want that to
Safe.
happen though.
So can I get back to what I was saying?
It's
Dan?
an hour. It's literally an hour.
I
You
know.
make everything about
It's
you.
1 hour.
Well, I'm just saying what my wife said. That's
Well, I was
I
in the middle of
understand.
talking about Christian Bustler. He's going to be in the house. Gunnery sergeant.
I'm looking forward to that.
No,
He's going to be here in person. That's going to be huge.
How far in the book are you?
Are you guys able to make cookies still on
I
Sunday?
am
What?
on midway through chapter 2.
Does your wife?
Oh,
poo-poo?
you got some work to do.
Does your
I know.
wife
Oh,
poo
shit.
poo
Now
you
they
playing
just caught
golf?
him in a rundown.
Don't,
Damn it.
Don't snap the Johnny Toms.
Too late.
Do you play
All
golf on Sundays? Dan?
Anyway,
Normally, yes.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that. I got you. So it seems like a priority issue.
It's just it's pool time.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's not making you look thinner. They always say that about tans.
I mean, come on, Ellie De La Cruz. You're
all right, back to the podcast.
Well, I'm
Back
just
to the
I'm upset
podcast.
now because they had
Well,
a chance to win
get
the
over
game
it.
and he fucked it up.
I'm upset right now too, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
I'm upset. I'm very upset.
This shit's starting to circle the drain.
What?
Focus.
What? The
I need you to focus.
I thought you were talking to me. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Go on. Go on.
Yeah. Come on, Johnny Tom.
Mr. Bustler.
So we've Christian's going to be here. His book is
Johnny
phenomenal.
Tom
Buy the
Murphy.
book. Mortuary Affairs Officer. He perfected, made it even better, and it's pristine. It's
He's
beautiful.
not an officer. He's an NCO.
He's
He's a gunnery sergeant,
a gunnery sergeant, Dan, which is higher than
That's not an officer.
Right.
It's an NCO.
but it's a gunnery sergeant. So we'll give him the title that he.
Well, he is a gunnery
Deserves.
sergeant. That is an NCO rank.
I understand
That's all
that.
I'm saying.
Non-commissioned officer. I understand exactly what that means.
Okay, so a patrolman is an officer. So is his sergeant, corporal.
Well, we're talking about military ranks,
Okay.
not police ranks.
Don't ask, don't tell, Dan. Shut up.
Don't ask, don't tell. What?
About it. God, he's a gunnery sergeant. His book's phenomenal. Get the book.
The book is great.
Get up here. You can get it autographed. I bought a physical copy, even though I was reading the Kindle version. And I want to get it signed by him. I want to talk about some stories. And there's going to be some exciting news that's coming up in regards to him. I'm going to let him spill the beans on that one.
I was texting with him last night, and then I ended up reading the book up until like 3 a.m.
I got to quit fucking reading that
160 pages left, and I didn't want to put it down, but I'm like, it's 3
book.
a.m.
Yeah,
Probably need to go to bed.
that's my problem.
And the muscle relaxers kicked in, and the words were starting to move on the page. So I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of this.
I need to start taking a muscle relaxer or something before I start reading it. That way, about a half an hour later, I am comatose and have it down. Because I sat up the one night. I think I slept, an hour last week? Because I got stuck reading it till 3. Oh, I'll go to bed now. Nope. Kept reading it because I couldn't fall asleep. It's a good time, good book, and it's going to be a great interview. Can't wait. And then we got on the 25th of July, that Tuesday. Chris Smitherman is going to be live. Andrew Pappas is going to be in the house. And I know Andrew is still working on Chris to try to get him in the house live. It's a close drive, but Chris is a great person, and I cannot wait to interview him. Just a lot of fun shit going on, man. We got Casey maybe coming in from St. Louis soon. We got a 3-on-3 match coming up. I was confirming that with Keith. We never did make it down to Holy Grail on Sunday. I think we got screwed up someplace else.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, fucking crazy, isn't it?
I might have been sitting here with you where you guys are debating whether you're going to go.
Yeah, then we just said fuck it.
That 3-on-3 is going to be.
It's going to be.
We are definitely having an ambulance on standby. The horse, I was going to try to do it, but the 3-on-3, I really feel it's apropos that we have one.
Oh yeah, I'm going to check the fuck out of Keith and Bostic, man. They're going to need some.
It's exactly who.
bandages.
That's exactly who I was planning on getting the ambulance for. That's
would.
exactly who.
Definitely. I'm going to lay him down, man.
See if we can get some oxygen tanks for
That
you.
fucking block is going to be horrendous. I'm trying to think of what else is going on.
I can't wait for that.
I'm going to
cannot
square it
wait.
away. Keith might come up. Tonight's the 2-week anniversary of his Kenny Loggins night that premiered up here at the Varsity. His affinity for Kenny Loggins. We got music trivia up here tonight with the DJ Glenn, which is always a good time. We won last night, by the way, Keith. Thanks for sticking around.
What, trivia?
Yeah, regular trivia.
How about that?
Got the first round. I had to go.
Yeah, we killed it, man. We went pretty heavy. But shit, I was going to say something else. All Bumpus is in the news today. His trial started yesterday down in Claremont County Common Pleas Court. Friend of the show, listener, is performing said trial. He is the one, the girl, God, what was her name? Paige Johnson? Was it Paige Johnson from Kentucky that was went missing?
Oh, the
for
one that was
a
missing
decade?
forever.
Yeah. And he was charged with
You said that. I couldn't.
tampering with
remember which
evidence,
one it was,
abuse of
yeah.
a corpse, and it's being tried down in Claremont County because the body was found in East Fork State Park, which is part of Claremont County. And his cell phone was the last place his cell phone pinged was in Claremont County. The Commonwealth claims they don't have enough for a murder charge, but Claremont County went ahead and kind of took a pee. Oh, wait a minute, we do have balls. We'll prosecute him for this. Why not? So we'll see how that comes out today. It was a heavily fortified courthouse at Common Pleas on Main Street in Batavia.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And
I mean,
the emotions are running high.
Anybody that's not from around here, I mean, that's
So
been,
the body was
that's been a
discovered-
big story around
Remains were found of
At East
her
Fork?
years
In
later.
the East Fork
Yeah.
Lake area?
Yeah, what was that?
Do they believe the crime took place there?
3 years ago, I believe. I think that's when the remains were found, and he was the last one to have seen her. He has actually given like 10 to 12 interviews to law enforcement throughout the course of the investigation.
Yeah. Maybe he tripped himself up.
No, well, not enough. I mean, they got a cell phone ping and they got remains, and he was the last one seen. So they're in a Claremont County jury, which Claremont County juries are predominantly conservative, pro-law enforcement Republicans.
Going to be a tough haul for that dude.
So we'll see what happens on that. I think he's gonna get it wrong. But hey, I thought OJ was guilty too. But nonetheless, we go on. Life goes on.
He wasn't?
No, we got that trial going on right now. There's another one, big one coming up, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, you see about that Ohio State chick, man, that had been missing for 2 weeks that was found in that quarry? A little bit away from her house.
Yeah. I know exactly what quarry that is too, because
Beautiful girl, man.
a lot of guys I know go scuba diving up there. That would have been a shit situation.
What quarry was it? Was it Port? It wasn't. No, that's up
I
in
can't remember the
Florida.
name of it, but the fact that she perished, however, I mean, that's obviously going to come out here at some point, like what happened. But I did see that headline.
You know what did pop today is I was watching Fox. I wasn't listening to it, but I was watching it while I was working at the office today. They put a headline out, and we're talking about there's a serial killer believed to be operating in, I want to say Utah or Idaho. You know who can definitely use a little companionship on the body count is the dude from the slaying of those 4 co-eds. And where the fuck was it? Right outside of Washington.
That was Idaho.
He was Idaho. So, I mean, hey, gives the defense something to talk about, I guess, during the trial. Despite the fact he left this sheet there from his dad with some of his DNA and other shit, and his phone was pinging.
Got pulled over fucking twice
For following too close. Don't get the
pulled
fucking
over
hint.
2 times and still just keeps on meandering down the road.
Speaking of getting pulled over, guess who has their court appearance tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, that's
4:30 p.m.
Can we talk about it now?
Not yet. Well, we can talk about it, but not fully. I've got to be at court tomorrow at 4:30 p.m.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than a defense
moms?
attorney getting pulled over.
With you or for your mom?
No, my mom wasn't charged out of hitting Walgreens. She hits a fucking building. I, on the other hand, have a clear record for 31 fucking years, and I'm on the phone 20 yards away from the 45-mile-per-hour sign, and I get tagged for 50 to 35 by an overzealous newbie.
You're contesting it?
Yes.
You went through
Wow.
the diatribe the day that it happened because we were podcasting.
Truly, I'm not contesting it. I'm hoping to go out there and get a non-moving, just so I don't get some points. I mean, fucking 31 years without an infraction.
I absolutely love that.
And again, he didn't even give me.
This might be worth a little video to see Herking in action.
How are you doing?
What's
defending himself?
What time is that?
4:30.
You're defending yourself?
I'm not defending shit. I'm going to go out there and grovel for a fucking headlight ticket.
Is it worth me bringing a camera and driving out to Bethel?
No. Don't bring it. I'll ask.
But you are essentially representing yourself because you're going to make the argument in front of the.
It's a fucking payout ticket. It's not going to affect my insurance.
Can I get a press pass for this trial?
You should file a motion.
I want to wear a vest that says press.
It is a court proceeding. Yes,
it's in a mayor's court in Bethel. Yes.
It's a court proceeding.
Yes.
Dan, let's go.
So you will be your own legal representation.
I used to be a cop there.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Mr. Mayor, Rob Herking for Rob Herking.
They have a cop that appears at every mayor's court hearing. And I was that cop on many a night in mayor's court in Bethel. And tomorrow I get the privilege of being a defendant in mayor's court in Bethel. Jurisdiction, I first
have you
served.
retained counsel?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah. He's an asshole.
Who might that be?
Me. He's a dick.
Now,
I hate myself.
Will you please complete this sentence for me?
I'm going to throw myself under the bus.
Will you complete the sentence for me?
Sure. Are you going to say a sentence?
Any lawyer who represents himself or herself in court has a blank for a client.
Great client.
I don't believe that's
smart client.
I don't believe that's the saying that the common saying that everybody does.
Joe got it.
I'm gonna go out there. I know what the fucking saying is, but I'm gonna go out. It's a fucking speeding ticket, Dan.
I don't care.
It's a
I love it.
I love the fact that it happened.
It's a fucking speeding ticket. I'm gonna go out there. And
I want that tripod set up in the back of the courtroom.
Your Honor,
fucking camera rolling. Even though you see all the news, the news when big shit. Huge cameras. We're gonna have our little camera set up in the corner of the courtroom.
Mr. Herking, are you aware of your rights?
No, I want to hear him, Judge. No, it'd be great. I'm looking forward to this. And then guess what? I didn't even talk about this. It was followed up 5 days later with a parking ticket in downtown Hamilton County. I was having a hell of a fucking municipality week. I fucking paid it
That's
online.
where that extra Varner money's going toward.
Unfucking believable. I
It's
park in
going
the
toward his
same
headlight
damn-
and his parking ticket.
park in the same fucking lot downtown all the time. I use the
Yeah,
app.
That's
the app,
downtown Cincinnati is commonly referred to,
the app.
not downtown Hamilton County.
The app.
The Hamilton County Courthouse is in downtown Cincinnati.
All right, repeat.
Just saying. Just saying.
Jesus, Rain Man, shut the fuck up for a second.
I'm just saying.
Apparently, the app didn't trigger the payment. As I'm walking into the courthouse to handle my hearings, I come back. I'm like, motherfucker. Hey, welcome, $80. Thanks, motherfuckers. Which actually is not a bad deal because it costs 12 something to park there anyway.
It
so-
actually might. Yeah, that money might work out.
Yeah.
That extra money that Dan gave you.
Unbelievable. I'm just going to start putting a fucking
that
ticket
money
in.
right there is for the Varner Foundation.
Yeah, Varner Foundation wants me to be able to drive and park, Dan. So we're going to be all right.
$200.
But I gotta go out and grovel tomorrow, and then I gotta pay this fucking parking ticket. And I gotta find the parking ticket because I don't know what website to go to pay the motherfucker.
Is the officer going to be there?
I hope so. I know his name. We all know his name, Keith, don't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I was curious as to whether the officer was going to be there or not.
God, I can't wait to see him in court in municipal court. Fucking Christ. County Court of Common Pleas or municipal court. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun.
That is fantastic.
So this past Saturday, it was raining heavily, and my wife and I decided that we'd take in a movie. And so we went to the theater and went and saw Sound of Freedom.
The fuck
Have you heard anything about that?
I've heard a bunch about it.
Yeah. So Sound of Freedom is a film about a guy that actually worked for Homeland Security, and his job is to bust pedophiles. And he busts a guy who's a pretty big pedophile and convinces him, tricks him into actually revealing his sources. And eventually he comes in contact with a kid who's been kidnapped, and he rescues this kid. And he finds out that he has a sister who's been sold into.
Is it Liam Neeson? I saw that.
Jim Caviezel.
They remade Taken.
No, it's Jim Caviezel.
Oh, okay.
But
does he make cookies?
No,
like Chris Hansen.
No, Jim Caviezel. But he's a federal agent.
Does he have puppets like?
And
Jim
he winds up. He
does it to me.
Going on a mission to rescue this young girl who's been taken away from her father and sold into a child sex slave. It's a really good movie.
This is fucking Taken.
It's not Taken. The movie is called Sound of Freedom.
Get some original material. It was Taken.
Taken
is
the
premise of Taken.
They're gonna take you.
Taken is the story of a guy who was a retired federal agent, and his daughter is on vacation in Paris, and she gets kidnapped.
I wish I'd have brought my gun.
Totally different.
Where would you do with it? Would you put it in your mouth or one of our heads?
But of course,
it would be the first one. I'd put it in my mouth. It would be the first one. Well, probably not the first one. So
this is a movie that it exposes the horrors of child trafficking and child sex slaves and all the rest of it.
You shooting yourself in the mouth would be allowed on Facebook, but Biden.
Yeah, but
Biden with cocaine.
But Hunter Biden, we'd get banned.
We get banned on that motherfucker.
And so all the reviewers, all the leftist media in the country is talking about how this QAnon conspiracy theory, this, that, and the other thing. And the thing that they overlook is that the movie was shot 5 years ago.
That's
before anyone ever heard of QAnon. No one can explain what QAnon even is, but it's something they tried to attach to Trump.
Is that like Qualcomm?
I don't know. It's called QAnon. Don't ask me what it is because this is something that's made up. I don't even know if it's real or not. I don't think it is real. But anytime there's something that the left can't explain or doesn't like, it's QAnon. And so apparently they try to tie this to Trump somehow, and they're saying that the movie is nothing but just QAnon conspiracy theory mumbo jumbo.
Nice.
But the thing they overlook is that the movie was shot 5 years ago. It finally made its way into the theaters just now. And this is way before anyone even heard the term QAnon.
QAnon is an American political conspiracy theory and political movement that originated in the American far-right political sphere in 2017. QAnon centers on fabricated claims made by anonymous individual or individuals
So it's
known as Q.
Wikipedia.
Those claims have been relayed, developed, and supplemented by numerous communities and influencers associated with the movement.
But see, that's complete bullshit because no mainstream conservatives have anything to do with QAnon or its offshoots or anything. That's completely fabricated. It's completely made up.
Just like that news story.
Well, it's on the internet, so it's got to
Yeah.
be true.
Well,
Here-
just like Johnny Tom surgery.
Followers of the conspiracy theorists
That's
say that
fucking real,
the
Dan.
Trump administration secretly fought
Mm.
the cabal of pedophiles who would conduct mass arrest and execution of thousands of cabal members on a day known as, quote unquote, the storm or, quote unquote, the event.
Is that date January 6th?
It probably is.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is,
I'd heard the term, but I've never looked it up. I just looked it up.
You want to
my
know
wife and I went to the theater. The movie is doing very well. If you get a chance to see it, go see it. It'll be worth your time.
how long is it?
Very good movie making. It's I don't know, it's regular movie length, couple hours.
The fucking regular movie is about an hour and a half. You
Okay.
get the Titanic shit. I
Are
get
you
bored.
you're splitting hairs there though. Just to
However
bust his
long
balls.
it's regular.
No, I'm not. I mean, a fucking regular is an hour and a half. If it's one of those 3-hour
It is good-
Titanic fucking
It is good.
Gettysburg
It is good
bullshits.
storytelling, very good movie making, and has a very, very important message. And if you have a chance to go see it, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to talk about this every chance I get.
You did it?
I definitely
so
want.
I have the opportunity here on the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast.
I want to check it out. I mean, I saw it. And I saw some article, and I would have to go back and find it. That like Disney had the rights to that movie for when you said it didn't get released for years. It was Disney that had it for.
They may have.
They had the rights to it.
Where,
I
do you-
know-
where in the
Yeah.
fuck? What is it called again?
It's called Sound of Freedom is the name of the movie.
So it's kind of a knockoff of The Sound of Music and Taken.
No, it's not. It is a totally different story than all of that.
Well, one Sound of Music was a bunch of people running from Nazis, just like kids and the kid trafficking shit. And Taken was
It's about a
movie-
family in Austria, and the Nazis come in, and
It was-
they
it was-
escape
yeah, the
Austria.
Van Claps.
It was bought. It was
And
bought
they-
by the
and
Walt
they-
Disney Company in 2019.
They tried to shutter it, probably.
Well, sure they did.
And then the film's producer managed to get the rights back, and eventually released it.
See, the Walt Disney Company
This
tried
year.
to shutter it like Mousenon.
And it was filmed in 2018. So yeah, filmed 5 years ago, but
Thank
was
God-
in limbo.
Thank God QAnon beat the fuck out of Mousenon, and we got it back, baby.
See, it's nice having a computer now.
Sound of Music. Oh, I'm sorry, Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
All right.
Our boys at Failure
And
to
it's
Stop
doing very well.
talked about it.
I'll have to check it out.
Since I was out of town, my days are all messed up on which episode they posted it, but yeah, they were talking about it.
Where do you go see it, Dan? Please say Mary.
We saw it at the theater in Milford.
Oh, okay. Because normally you,
Well, that's where we had our mandate.
yeah, you would keep going mandates to
Yeah,
Marymount.
That's where we had
Theater.
our mandate.
And we got there. Paula looked it up. She said, "Oh, there's a showing at 2:00." And so we got there. I don't know. It 1:45, 1:50, and the
Not
person,
shocked by that. You show up 10 minutes early.
Well, I mean, it's 10 minutes before the movie starts.
You're gonna have 30 minutes of fucking ads, though.
so
it's not a bad play.
So
to
we
make
get
that.
there, and Paula comes running up. She says, "Oh, it didn't start at 2:00. It started at 1:30."
So you were right on time.
So luckily we got there just as the previews were ending, so we didn't miss any of it.
There we are.
But I'm telling you, the theater was so crowded we couldn't find two seats together.
Who was
When-
running the?
When I go to a movie, I like to sit all the way in the back. We walked up there, and there was maybe a seat here, a seat there, a seat.
Would you just close your eyes?
Totally
when you
packed.
came in. You walked all the way up top. You didn't just fucking stand at the bottom and look up top.
We walked all the way up. The theater was getting dark, so we walked all the way down. Wound up sitting in the front seat because someone was kind enough to move over and gave us two seats together in the front row.
Sounds awesome.
I mean, I have not seen a movie theater that crowded in a long, long time.
I'm gonna check it out, but I bet you I can find it online for free, and I don't have to sit up front with people.
Not right now. You can't. It's in the theaters.
Yeah, I know, Dan.
In the theaters.
It's called 2023, baby.
Theaters.
I'm going to do a quick read. The Varner Foundation for Children and Families. We want to take a moment to talk about foster care. We believe those who open their hearts and their homes to take care of kids are among the most special of our friends and neighbors. It can be a strain on anyone's budget, and sadly, more than half give up in their first year of fostering because the resources just aren't there. That's where the Varner Foundation comes in. A 501c3 nonprofit, the Varner Foundation enables foster care agencies to help in a hurry. A car repair, a prescription, an extra bed, even a new pair of shoes, and many times a single phone call gets it done. It's except if you're collecting money from Dan for the Varner Foundation. 100% of the money donated to the Varner Foundation goes to the mission, period. You heard that right, 100%. That's two. You can help make a difference in a child's life today. Donate to the Varner Foundation. That's the varnerfoundation.org, varnerfoundation.org. Let's make it three. This is 100% going to be donated to the Varner Foundation. That's two 100%. I mean, two 100s.
Jesus.
There you go. So, Dan, you finally got your money. Jesus. Too bad you couldn't get it back in the day when it was worth it, but worth something. Kind of like that exchange rate.
We're there.
We are done now.
We're there. And now we'll have to figure out what other monkey Dan's going to have on his back.
I think we got one coming up, don't we?
I think so. I actually think we actually do.
Do we want to sprout it now or wait? Your call, Keith.
Yeah, we can dial it down and
Talk about it right now?
yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just remember July 23rd, 1 p.m. Christian Bustler, gunnery sergeant, not an officer, Dan.
If you are in town and like have our numbers or whatever, and you want to come and sit back here with us, shoot us a text just so we know. But
8112 Beachmont Avenue, back room.
I think it's going to be. I'm super excited about that one.
I am pretty stoked. And then Smitherman on the 25th with Andrew Pappas, the person everybody loves to hate. That would be Pappas. Can't wait to see Andrew in person again. We've been texting back and forth, giving each other shit like normal. 3-on-3's coming. And next time you guys will see us, we're not going to wait as long. It'll be tomorrow, post-court appearance with
I can't wait to hear tomorrow how that.
Yeah, number one lawyer in the city, Rob Herking, is going to be representing number one defendant in Bethel, Rob Herking, tomorrow at 4:30, and then he'll be here live for a podcast at 5:30. Stay tuned. Stay classy.
Stay classy,
Cincinnati.
And I cannot wait to hear. Hopefully, I get a text message that we can't podcast tomorrow because you're in handcuffs.
I'm run up, man. I'm calling somebody get a hold of Beck. I need Becca to come out here and get me the fuck out of here.
I need my bondsman out here stat.
He went out with a payout ticket, but
I need a real lawyer.
He's going to Shawshank, locked down on a fucking speeding ticket.
Yeah, we got tomorrow at 5:30 live streaming, same way we're doing it
Yes,
today.
sir. We're going to have a good time tomorrow night. We got some other shit coming up tomorrow
Be
night
there,
that we
be
can't wait
somewhere
to
else.
talk about. I'm going to try to get Varner in tomorrow. If
I think he's on
Dano's around.
vacation.
Oh, fuck
I
again.
think.
Jesus. We'll get somebody in here to talk because nobody wants to hear about
Nice being a big music star.
Dan's movies. You know what they want to hear? They want to hear an answer to an infamous question that has eluded the stratosphere, Wikipedia, Facebook, and everything. For
Go back to the very first
eons.
podcast and you'll have your answer.
You don't remember the first podcast or the last one we just did?
Yes, I do.
Dan, do you manscape?